I know, right? I mean, that's what I was gonna do. Yeah. All right, so check it out. This is my story today is about going to Krispy Kreme, and I'm not hating on Krispy Kreme. Actually, I love everything that you guys do. You make a great donut. I know that's debatable in the world of donuts, but here in Phoenix, Arizona, we've got Bosa, we've got a couple other wonderful local places. But for me, sometimes I just like a straight up glazed donut or chocolate ice glaze, and I think Krispy Kreme does an awesome job. But the reason for my story today is, what happens when they mess up your order and then the people are a little rude to you? What do you do in that situation? Let's talk about it. So for our family, Sundays is the donut day, and all of my kids love donuts, so it's a kind of a big deal in our house. All my little boys love choosing their favorite donuts, and sometimes when we're a little busy going back and forth, if we have some Sunday activities, we tend to go through the drive-thru. And like a lot of times when you go for fast food, the drive-thrus can kind of mess up your order. But hey, that's okay. We're all human. And a lot of times when you're driving and you're getting home and the kids are kind of screaming in the back out of excitement, it's not until you get home, usually the case, and you look into the donut box and you're like, oh my gosh, this is not what I ordered. How did they mess this up? Initially, you're frustrated, you're angry, and so for most of us, you're going to call and you're going to talk to the people on the phone, and that's where my story begins. So I call the local Krispy Kreme store and say, hey, I've got some issues with my order. Got a bit of a mix-up. Can you help me out on this deal? And they're really nice. The lady on the phone's like, yeah, come on back, bring it in, we'll make it right for you. And I'm like, cool, so I'll be over there in just a few minutes. So I'm thinking, hey, this should be easy, right? Well, maybe not so easy. So then I get into the store and I tell the gal, hey, I came a few minutes ago, I was in the drive-thru in the black SUV. And she's like, oh yeah, okay. And I said, I think I just spoke to one of you or someone in the back about my order being messed up. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. What do you got there? And so I said, hey, I got a dozen and it wasn't quite right. The order got mixed up. And she opens it and the first thing she says is, there's 2 donuts missing in this box. And so I'm like, yeah, I mean, my kids were hungry and they had waited, so I gave them 2 of the glazed donuts out of the box. Is that a big deal? She's like, well, I need to go talk to somebody in the back. I'm like, oh, okay. So then the lady comes back from the back and she's like, sir, we can only replace 10 of your donuts. We can't replace the box. And I'm like, really? So now I'm like kind of perplexed. I'm a little like aggravated. I'm like, I was like, with all due respect, ma'am, I'm kind of your customer and the patron, and I'm the one that's been inconvenienced here. I didn't know taking 2 donuts out to feed the kids on our commute all the way back here would be an issue, but if that's your policy, I guess, can we just replace the 10 since y'all messed up the order to begin with? And then she goes, yes, so just tell me what 10 you would like. And that was how she met my response. I was kind of perplexed by that too. I'm like, wow, not even an apology here? Am I in the wrong here? Like, I just thought maybe it would get replaced the whole thing and me driving back and my time lost would be worth, a new dozen. But I guess, hey, I'm not complaining. I didn't raise my voice or anything. I'm like, if 10 is what you're going to give me. So there I am, choosing the 10 donuts that were the ones that I had originally purchased and wanted to begin with. But something just didn't sit with me right. So as she's putting the donuts in the box, I'm like, can I ask you, since I'm a loyal customer and patron to the brand, like, may I ask, like, is this like a corporate policy? Like, I know I'm not attacking you personally or anything like that. It's like, but the way y'all replace donuts, or if there's a mix-up order, like, is that how y'all do it here? And this is what struck me as odd. She goes, I don't know. As a straight face, I don't know. And I go, oh, okay. Is it a local or a franchise policy maybe that y'all do it this way? She goes, I don't know. So I was a little frustrated with that response. I think most people would like just a reasonable answer, like inconveniencing the customer. I run a small business. If I do that, I try to make it right and go a little extra mile to make sure that the customer's happy, that they come back. But to give a response, I don't know, I had to follow it up and said, well, since you're only replacing it with the 10 for the 10, would that be that the policy is that then? And to say, I don't know, then obviously you know something, because that's what you're standing by, is to replace 10 for 10, not a fresh dozen. I know this is like pole vaulting over mouse turds in a first world problem, but I was just like kind of blown away, like, that's how you deal with customers when you mess up the order yourself? So anyhow, I took my box. She didn't even say have a good day or anything. I was like, whatever, I'm not going to get mad. I'm just going to take the responses, I don't know, as my answer. And this is what I would recommend to you guys. If you run into this problem, don't get angry. Just be civil. I don't know what's going on in her life. I have my own personal issues, and I never attack anybody because I know life is challenging enough. She could be, whatever, what's going on in her life. I don't know what the pay is in her hourly. Again, I'm not even about to attack somebody who is working an hourly job. I get it. It's not her problem. It's not her fault, but I just wish she would have had a little bit better of explanation there. So this is what I want you to do. If you fall in a situation where the order's wrong and you're frustrated or you're angry and you don't like the shift manager or the employee's response, don't get angry. Just accept what they say, remember it, jot it down, and then I want you to call Krispy Kreme's customer service line. And a lot of fast food chains have their own customer lines too. So give this number a call right here. Just call this number if you're with Krispy Kreme. And again, if you're with another fast food chain, they may have their own number. But by simply calling, I got the nicest lady through corporate. I explained the story and just said, hey, I'm not sure if that's a policy thing. I'm going to still come back. I love your stuff. I love your product. I was just kind of perplexed by that was the answer in that situation. And her name was Miss Sherry. Miss Sherry, if you're out there in the universe, you're amazing. And you are a godsend. And Krispy Kreme, take care of that lady because she probably gets calls all day from people who get frustrated. And she did an excellent job. All she did was listen. And she goes, you know what? That's not the policy. Customers being happy is all we want. I'm going to send you a gift card. I'm going to make it right for you, Matthew. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. That's how I like to treat my customers in my business. And I was so happy. So rather than get frustrated with the employees or the store, just call the number. They'll take good care of you. They want you to come back. That's what all companies and organizations want, is a happy customer that is a repeat customer, because that's the lifeline of their businesses. So in the end, I could have got mad. I could have yelled at everybody. I could have blown into volcano mode. And again, I know these are first world problems, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to kind of share with my little family ups and downs in my life. And if you have a fast food issue, don't yell at the people. Like I said, most of them are working hourly. They have their own personal issues. We have our issues. Just call corporate. They'll make it right, and they'll probably take care of your order and give you a little extra. I mean, I can't guarantee that for all results, but it's a lot better than blowing up and just, putting your wife, your spouse, your significant other, whomever, the kids, in an awkward position when you're getting angry, and then the employees it's just a mess. Call corporate. It makes it so easy, and I highly recommend. And that's my story for Sunday. Thanks for listening. And as always, I'll give you guys as many fun stories that can help you around in your lives. All right, till next time, guys. See ya.